Hello everyone, I am Loganathan from Loga QA Automation channel. Welcome back to the next video in our Python for Testers series. In the last video, we just got started with the Python dictionary, right? The Python dictionary collection, and then we saw what are the data types that will be allowed as dictionary keys and what are the data types that will be allowed as dictionary values, right? In today's video, what are we going to do is we'll cover the built-in functions that we can use on Python dictionary. And these are the functions. Say what is the type of our dictionary, and then what is the ID to understand the memory address of the dictionary, and then what is the length, and then what is the minimum, maximum. This minimum and maximum I'll tell you when I'm explaining it. So either you can find the smallest value in the or smallest key in the dictionary, or you can find the largest key in the dictionary. When you find that, if it is numbers, how it is going to behave, if it is string, how it is going to behave, and then how can we get the dictionary keys sorted, and then how can we get the dictionary keys reversed, and finally we all know that how to print the dictionary. Once we complete these functions, we'll move to very important methods that we can use on Python dictionary. So here we have to access the values inside the dictionary. We have methods like get, and then keys, values, items, and then to modify we have update and set default, and then to remove we have pop item and clear, and finally to do some modifications or do some want to copy it from one dictionary to other dictionary, and also if we want to count the number of elements in the dictionary, and also we want to do some sorting, how can we do it? We'll see it. Right. With that said, let us straight away jump into the PyCharm, and we already have a collection a library created for dictionary. So I would go with the new test file now. New test. Let me name it as test02. And let's create a dictionary. So when creating dictionary, there are two ways, right? So either we can say, I can say apple 2 and then mango 3. So this is one way of creating dictionary. So there are two key value pairs in this dictionary A, and now I'm going to create a dictionary by calling the dict function, right? So I can use dict function and I can pass it. So I'll say that banana 4, and then I'll say orange 5. So this is another way of creating dictionary, and this is another way. There are two ways. Either we can use directly curly braces and give the key value pairs in this format, or we can use the dict function and then inside which we can give it. So let me put it as B, and now I'll cover the first function that we can use, which is nothing but print A and then print B. So let me run this. So I'll rerun this, and you see that it is printing apple 2, mango 3, and then banana 4, and then orange 5. So here is the results. Okay, cool. Now let's go to the next. I'll go with the print statement where I'll repeat this dashes for 20 times so that it will create a separator in my log. What am I going to do? Let me go back to my PPT. Print is covered. Let's see type. So let me print the type of A. What is it going to say? It is dictionary, right? And then I'll say the ID of A. Print ID of A. What is it going to say? It is going to print the memory of A. So it is giving me the memory location of A. And then let's cover the len, min, and max. So len is nothing but, say I have two elements or two key value pairs here, right? So let me print A dot len. Len of A. and let me run this. So it says 2. Similarly, I can do len of b. So that will also print 2. Cool. So it is giving me length. Next, I am going to use minimum and maximum. Observe that the minimum and maximum will be used on the key, smallest key and the largest key. Okay, it is not the minimum and maximum of the values. It is going to check the keys, and out of this whatever is minimum it is going to return, out of this whatever is maximum it is going to return. So this time the keys are strings, so it is going to check the ASCII values of the string, and then it is going to return the minimum ASCII value string as a result. Okay, let me print min of a. Okay, I'll print the max of a also. So min of a is apple and max of a is mango. To explain this in a better way, what I do is I will create another dictionary collection, and then here I'll give one is say apple, and then comma 3 is, so here I say 3, and then I say 2, or I say 1 mango, and then I'll say 2 banana. Okay, so this is my new dictionary. So I have created a new dictionary which is nothing but a, and here my keys are integers, that is numbers, and then I'm storing the values as strings. Now I'm going to apply this min function on a, that is I'm going to use this min function to find the minimum key in this dictionary. Let's see what is the minimum key. It is 1, because 1 is the minimum, and I can use maximum also here, max. Let me run this. So when we cover min and max, we can do sum also. Let me show you the sum. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. So I can use sum. I'll run this. Yeah, so 1, 3 and then 6. What will happen when I put sum on the dictionary where all the keys are string? Let's see. I'm using sum of a here. Let's see. It is throwing an error. What is the error? Type error. Unsupported operand. It is expecting integer, but we are passing string. Okay, so this is not possible when the keys are strings. And also, other than number, I will put it in this way, other than number, if the keys are anything else, any other data type, then you cannot use sum. And similarly, I can have my dictionary like this, right? So until the third element, I'm using integer. On the fourth element, if I use, say, banana, orange is 3. So what I've done, so far it is number. Until the third element, the key is number. But on the fourth element, the key becomes string. Let's see what is going to happen with all these 3. So min is not possible because it is mixed up. That is what it says. Let me comment this and then I'll run this. So now it says max is not possible. So I'll comment this, save and then run this. There is some other error which is going on the top. Yeah, sum is also not possible. Okay, I'll comment this. So from here, what are we understanding? The keys must be homogeneous. If it is heterogeneous, then this min, max and length, min, max and sum will not work. These functions will not work. Okay, all right. So we covered print, id, type, and then len, min, max. So we need to cover next 2. One is sorted and then reversed. And even for sorted, we need the key to be homogeneous. So what I do, I will just put this also commented. then I'll take this, and here I'll continue. So now print sorted, and I'll pass A. So let's see, it is now 3 1 2, the keys are 3 1 2. When I print this, what is going to happen? 1 2 3. So sorted will return a list. The list will contain only the keys of the dictionary, okay, in sorted order. So if you want to get the reverse order, then you need to pass this reverse is equal to true. So now you get 3 2 1. All right, so that is for sorted. Next is reversed. So what I do, I'll first directly print the reversed. You'll get to know that the reversed will always create the reversed list. As you see, it is the reversed list with reverse key iterator. To print anything from here, what we need to do, we need to use a for loop. For I in reversed of A, then I'm printing I, comma, I'll give the end with a comma. Okay, just to make it more clear, I am doing the horizontal print. You see that? There is something going wrong. Let's see, let's try to understand what is going wrong. Reversed A. Let me, oh yeah, I understand now. Okay, so reversed is 2 1 3, right? That is what is printing here. So let me run this again. Yeah, reverse is 2 1 3, and then it prints the sorted order. Okay, 2 1 3 3 1 2. So remember that this function is not changing anything. It is not updating the dictionary. It is just reversing it and creating an iterator, and using that iterator we are printing the reversed order of the keys. So right now the order is 3 1 2. When the reversed order is printed, it should be 2 1 3. So that is what is happening here. And then next time what we are doing is we are sorting the keys and we are printing here, and here we have done the reversed sort. That's why it is printing 3 2 1. If I want to print the regular sorted order, then I can just take this out. And I run this, and you see that it is 1 2 3 and then 3 2 1. All right, so with that we have covered all the functions. And again, for these reversed and then for the sorted, we need to have the homogeneous keys. If the keys are heterogeneous, then those will not work. Okay, all right, so that's it. Let me go for the next one, which is the methods. So let me create a new file, test03. Okay, let's go here. First we'll try to understand how are we going to access the elements that are present inside the dictionary. So let me create a dictionary. So for that I'll copy from here, and now I want to print this apple. How can I do it? So print A of 3. Let me run this. You see that apple is printed. Why? I am using this key as index. There is no index at all here. I am just giving an example, or I am trying to explain it in list terms. Okay, in the list terms I am trying to explain. That's why I am saying it as index. But assume that I need to say A, and then I need to use the square brackets, and I have to mention the key value here so that it will retrieve the value stored in the key. So which is nothing but apple. It is retrieving. There are other ways to retrieve the data. So how can I do it? So A dot, then I'm saying get, and then here I'm saying in the get I'll be sending the key. Maybe I'll send the key 4. Okay, let me run this and print this. Print. a dot get. 4 is not there, that's why it is printing none. Let me try to send 2. So it is bringing banana. But now just take a glance, okay, take a look at the difference, okay. So now I am trying to do a of 4. Do we have 4 as a key in this dictionary? No, we don't have. In that case, when I directly use that within the square brackets, what is going to happen? It is going to give me an error. It is giving me a key error because the key 4 is not present. But what is happening when I do this? When I use get, what is happening? It returns none. So the safest way to retrieve data is get instead of using this direct key value. Okay, cool. So this is one way, and then we have keys, values, and items. So this is to retrieve keys separately and then values separately, and then key values as items separately. Let's go with that. Okay, for that I'll print a separator as usual. All right, next I want to get all the keys, right? So I'll say all underscore keys is equal to a dot keys. So for I, first of all we'll directly print this, print all keys underscore keys. Let's see what it prints. What it prints, it is printing 3, 2 or 3, 1, 2, and when it is printing 3, 1, 2, it is giving it as in square brackets. What is mean by square bracket? Yes, it is a list. So when it is a list, it is a iterator, right? It is an iterable. So for key in all keys, I can say print key. For a safer side, just to print it on the horizontal way, I am doing this, okay? Let's see. So it is retrieving 3, 2, 1 now. So it is individually printing. This is for retrieving all the keys. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to retrieve the values. Instead of all keys, I use a variable called all values. Instead of keys, the function is, the method is values. Okay, then I'll print all values here. And here I'll do for value in all values, print value. Let's see. Nice. Now this all values is returning apple, mango, and then banana, which is nothing but the dictionary values, and it is coming as what? It is coming as list, so that I'm using the for loop and getting every value from this list and I'm printing them here. Got it? Let's see, print type of all values. Let's see. It is dict values. So there is a data type called dict values, and then here the data type will be then dict keys, right? So yeah, the data type is dictionary keys, and then here it is dictionary values. Cool. So far we covered how to get keys and then values separately. Now what are we going to do? We are going to check how to get the both key value pair together. For that we have a function called item. Okay, items I'm using, and I'm using all items. I'm printing all items and then printing the type of the item. So first I'll run this. So now you see that it is also a list because it is put inside the square bracket, but within the square bracket you see there are simple brackets inside which the key and value are given, right? Key value, key value, key value. What does this particular element mean? Correct, this is tuple. So whenever there is something bounded with a simple bracket, then that is called a tuple. So in this tuple we have two elements, in this tuple we have two elements, in this tuple we have two elements. Good. So how can I print them? It is easy, same way. If I go just like this, say key value, if I put key value in all items, and then if I print this key value here, it will print the tuple, correct? 3 times it's going to print the tuple. So 3 apple, 1 mango, 2 banana. In case I want this to be printed separately, 3 comma apple, I want to take out this tuple, what can I do? You remember the concept of unpacking, right? So instead of using one value here, I am going to put key comma value, and the same thing I'm going to do here, key comma value, and let's print this. Now you see that key gets 3 and then value gets apple from this tuple. So key gets 3, value gets apple. Key gets 1, value gets mango. Key gets 2, value gets banana. So that's how key and value are getting printed, and then there is a comma entered. After key value entered, a comma entered. After the key value entered, a comma entered. And finally also at the end also there is a comma. Okay, is this clear? Yeah, so this is the way we can retrieve the data from dictionary. So have we covered everything? Yes, we have covered get, we covered keys, we covered values, and then we covered items. Next, we'll see how can we modify the dictionary. So for that, what I do, I'll create a new test file. Test4 I'll name. So this is the dictionary. Okay, say I am saying A of 1, 2, 3 are there. I am saying 4 is equal to, let me put mango, banana, orange. Then I'll print A. What have I done? I have added a new element to the existing dictionary, and it has added at the end, because dictionary, it maintains the order, right? The order is maintained. That is why whenever you are adding something, it gets to the last. Let me add one more. A of 5 is equal to, say, grapes. See, grapes is added. And if I want to modify something, how can I modify? A of 1 is equal to, instead of mango, I want to give, say, papaya. Let me print it. One becomes papaya now, right? So 1 was mango before. Now when it prints, it is papaya. All right. So this is how I can update things. If I want to overwrite, I can use this, or if I want to add a new element, I can use this. This is one way of doing it. What are the other options we have? We have set default. Okay, let me show you what the set default is going to do. So now let's fix this. So let me put a small note here. It overwrites. Okay, now let me print. Okay, so same example I'm taking, and then I'm going to do the same. Instead of the square brackets, I'm saying set default, and the key is 4, and then the value is orange. Okay, and then I'll print the A. Let's see. So what is it doing? It is also adding orange after the last one. So set default is pretty much performing same as this. Okay, now I'm going to add one more using set default 5, and then I'll print A. So orange is okay. Again and again I'm adding an orange, so let me change it to grapes and then I'll run it. So now you see that grapes is added, and here I wanted to overwrite what is existing, right? So let me try this now. So here instead of 5 I'll pass the existing one, which is nothing but the 1 as a key, and then here I'll say papaya. What is it doing? The 1 remains mango, right? It did not overwrite with papaya. Is that right? It is not overwriting with papaya. Instead, the value of the key 1 remained as it is. So what does it mean? Set default will not overwrite. Okay, got it? Okay, when I'm talking about set default, I'm just getting reminded about the get method. Say here when you use print of 4 it was throwing error, but for get of 4 it was not throwing error, right? So let me run this again. So it was printing none, but instead of printing none, if I want to make this print something else, we have a option to pass a value here, get, and then say I'll put papaya. Okay, let me run this again. So see, here I'm passing 4 as a key. So here key 4 is not there when I'm passing. So that's why it was printing none. But the same also I'm passing 4 as a key for get. But if it is not finding that value, sorry, if it is not finding that key, then I'm asking it to print this papaya as a default value for this. So it is printing papaya. Okay. It is very similar to what we are discussing in the set default. So that's why I just switched and explained it. All right, let's come back to set default and compare it with the regular square brackets. So set default will add new key value pair at the end when the key is not existing, but the set default will not overwrite if the key is existing. It will just leave it as it is. The existing dictionary will not be touched, it will be intact. Okay, all right, that is about set default. So let's see what is update. Right, so in list, do you remember a is equal to 10 comma 20, and then b is equal to 30 comma 40, and then if you want to combine this a and b, what did we do? A dot extend is what we used, remember? So extend, and then we put b. So now when we print c, what will happen? What is happening? A dot extend, I think extend will not return anything. Just a second. Yeah, it doesn't return anything, it is none. So a itself is extended. So let me print a. So a becomes 10, 20, 30, 40, because what we have done, we took this b and then just appended it with a. That is what we have done. So very similar to this, if we have two, say collections, if we have two dictionaries, so we'll have say orange 1 comma apple 3. Then I have, say, next collection, so next dictionary, papaya, 4, banana, 5. So I have these. How can I append them? It is simple. Instead of extend here, we are going to use update B, and then I'm going to say print A. You see, the A is appended with B, orange, apple, papaya, banana, everything is printed. So natural question that you can get is, what will happen if the B has same key? What I mean, so this time I'm going to add one more thing, orange here, and I'll add, say, 10 or 20 add. What will happen when I do a.update? So this will be overwritten. Let me run this. As you see, orange has become 20 because the B has the same key orange and then the value is 20. So this key and the value gets overwritten. That is about update. And now let's go to remove. How can we delete them or remove them? Okay, so easiest way is, first I'll tell you what is an empty dictionary. So A is this. Okay, print A. Okay, let me run this. So you see that it's an empty dictionary, correct? Now what I do, I'll add something. A of 10 is equal to, I'll put the text 10 in it, and then now I'll print A. So what will do, it'll add a key value pair. 10 is 10. It has done it. Now let me try to clear it. Or okay, let me add few more. A of 10 is equal to 10. A of 20 is equal to 20. A of 30 is equal to 30. Okay, let's print this. So 10, 20, 30 is what we have in A. Now I want to pop A dot pop, and I don't give anything. But what pop returns, that we need to check. Pop returns after the single quote and then, sorry, dash and then arrow mark, we say VT, right? Nothing but value. So I can store it, I can print it, print A dot pop, and then I'll print A. Remember, here I am printing popped value. Here I am printing a dictionary value. Alright, let's run this. Okay. Something is not going well. Let's see what it is. A dot pop. What is it saying? Pop expected at least one argument, got 0. So I have to tell the pop what it has to do. Okay, I'll give pop and then I'll give key. The key as, say, 30. Okay, so let me run this. Excuse me. So what is getting popped when I pass 30? The value 30 is popped, and once it is popped, what are we getting? We are getting only 2 elements in the dictionary. Before that it had 3 elements, and I have to do the pop, it is returning only 2 elements. So this is one way of deleting it. I can delete another 2 times, right? I can pop, say, 20 and then I can pop 10. Remember, I have to pass the key here. I cannot pass the value here. I have to pass the key here. This is one way of deleting. What is the other way of deleting? Very simple way is clear. Say I have a dot clear, and then if I print a, what will happen? It will have the empty dictionary, correct? So here it popped and then it cleared, and then here it is giving me the empty dictionary. So one is pop, another one is clear. Do we have another method? Yeah, we have pop item. Let's see if it is working here. A dot pop item, and then I'll put print. Okay, popped item value is 20, and then now I'll print it. So I'm getting only 10 remaining. So what this pop item does, it is removing the last item of the dictionary. That is what the pop item does. But when you use simply pop, you have to pass the key, and what the clear does, clear will remove everything and it will keep it as empty. But here in pop item, what you need to remember is when it is empty, when the dictionary is empty. So here we have cleared, so the dictionary is empty. What I'll do is I'll try to a dot pop item. Okay, let's see what is going to happen. I'll just save it and then I'll run this. It is erroring. Why? The dictionary is empty. Okay, when the dictionary is empty, I cannot use pop item. But can I use clear again? Let me use it. I'll just redo it. Yes, I can. Clear can be used multiple times. When I say multiple times, even when the dictionary is empty, you can again clear it. It is not going to throw any error. But pop item cannot be used on an empty dictionary. If you use it, it is going to give you an error. It will say that I cannot perform this action on empty dictionary. Okay, that is about pop item and clear. And then now we'll see what is this copy. Okay, for that, let me have a so this is A, and then I'm going to create B is equal to A, and then I'm going to C is equal to A dot copy. Right, now let's do B dot clear, and then I'll print A, I'll print B, and then I'll print C. Guess what is going to happen? What will be the A after I clear B? Correct. Here A will also be cleared because A and B are sharing the same address. What will be the B? B is obviously clear. Sorry, B is obviously clear, so this is also empty. But C is a copy of A, but it will not share the same address. So C will hold this list. Let's see how it does. So this is how it is doing. So let me try to visually explain this to you. See if you are able to understand this. Say I have a and a dictionary stored in it. And then when I say B is equal to A, this line B is equal to A, B will be created, but it will also point to the same dictionary. But when I say C is equal to copy of A, what will happen is C will create, but a copy of this variable or value will be created and stored in C. So that is why when I do B dot clear, this is completely gone, but C is not referring anymore the A. That is why C will remain intact. So that's why print C is printing this apple, 1, mango, and then banana. But A and B are cleared. This is completely gone. That's why you are not seeing any values. It is empty dictionary. Okay, hope it is clear. Let me run it again. Nice. That is about copy. Let's see len. We have already seen len in a function. Let me see how it is going to behave when a.len. I think no, not required. So len and functions are, sorry, len and sorted are functions, and we have already covered. So I'll remove this, it's not required here. Okay, so these are pretty important methods we will be using on dictionary, and these are more than enough for you to utilize these dictionaries in our automation script. So keep practicing it. Now what I'll do is I'll give you a small what to say, interview question kind of, okay, which will help you to think and utilize this dictionary. So let me create a new value. Say there is a list, and in this list you have few values, 10, 20, 30, and then 10, 40, and then 30, then 20, 20, 10, 40. So this is how a list is there. Now you want to find out how many number of times the 10 is there, how many number of times 30 is there, how many number of times the 20 is there. You need to find, correct? So maybe you can think that I can use a count, correct? But say a dot count of 10, if you put, it's going to return how many number of 10 is there. Print, if I use, it says 3, but I have to manually pass this, right? Instead, the list can be anything. If there are duplicate values of, or if there are values repeated, it has to count that value and then it has to give me as an output. How can I do it? So I can use dictionary, because in dictionary I can keep these values as keys and then the count as the value. So let me explain it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the for loop for I in A. Okay, first I'll create a empty dictionary. So I'll name it as D. And what I'm going to do in this dictionary, D dot set default of I. So what I'm doing, I'm updating this D with I. What is I? I will be 10. So 10 will get updated. Next, comma, with what I'm updating? A of count of I. Correct? So what have I done? I'm adding this. So first time it will be 10. 10 is added here. When I say added, 10 is added as a key in the dictionary, and then it counts how many number of times the 10 is present in this A list, and that will be added as a value for 10. And after which it goes to the next. But once it is added, say 10 is added, next time when I use the same 10 and another value, what will happen? It will not override, it will simply skip it. That is the advantage of using set default, you remember. So now what I do, I'll print the D. Let's see what it does. You see, 10 is repeated 3 times, 20 is repeated 3 times, 30 is repeated 2 times, 40 is repeated 2 times. We got the answer. You see it, how easy it is to get it in this way. Now I can do anything, right? So I can print them one by one using what is it? I can use a for loop on D. What I mean is for I in D, our key value pair, right? So it is K comma V in D. Print K comma V. I can do. So this is a dictionary. Let me cut this. I'll play this. Oh yeah, it is at actually a dictionary, but I want to convert that into tuple. Okay, I got it now. I cannot use D, instead I should use D dot items. Okay, because only when I use items it will return the key value pair, and then that I want to print. Print k and y, k and v. Cool. See, 10 is there 3 times, 20 is there 3 times, 30 is there 2 times, and 40 is there 2 times. I can increase also. Say for example, I say another 10. So last time 10 was 3 times, now it should be 4 times. Easy, right? So I can easily calculate the number of times a particular value is repeated in a list by using a dictionary, that too in a very simple way. Okay, there are multiple ways in which we can do the same, but I have given you a very simple way. If you have any other alternatives, feel free to try that out also, and then post it in the comment. I will take a look at it. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Keep practicing it, and any questions or any feedback, put it in the comments. Until next time, keep learning and keep growing. Bye.